Let's see, have I completely forgotten how to film? Maybe. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna do a life update, chatty get ready with me style, though I know for a fact I'm probably gonna start crying at some point, so I don't know how well the makeup's gonna hold up. I also just laminated and tinted my brows, so they're looking a little like crazy, but I'm also not supposed to get them wet. So I'm gonna try to avoid like right around my eyebrows. So who knows how good this makeup is actually gonna turn out, but I didn't just want to sit here and talk through my life update. I wanted to be able to do something with it. So I'll be attempting to do some kind of makeup look. I honestly haven't been doing that much makeup lately. But yeah, let's just start and see where it goes. If I forget to mention any of the makeup products that I'm using, I'll have everything listed down below because once I start getting into the updates, I might just completely forget. Before we jump into the life updates, I wanted to go ahead and put in a content warning. Unfortunately, I do talk about these throughout the video, so there is not a timestamp I can give you in order to skip this. But this video does touch on the passing away of a close friend and colleague, and unfortunately the passing away of a pet. If that is too much for you at this time, I completely understand. Please skip this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you. I also feel like I completely forgot how to, like, film at all. Hello. Not to mention, this is the new apartment. This is our new setup. I am still messing with like the lighting and everything, but I really like the background. None of my makeup is put away yet. It's still like over on the side of the room. There's just a bunch of boxes. I haven't, basically most of my makeup collection is still packed away. I've not unpacked anything, and we've been here almost, exactly 2 months now. Exactly 2 months, and I have not put that away. And I'm definitely missing it. I feel like I'm missing my makeup collection. So I wanted to wait until I could actually film it for you guys. So at some point, probably after the new year, there'll be a video of me like unpacking and reorganizing my makeup collection. Alright, I just got out of the shower and I just blow dried my hair. So I've got my bangs up in a little clippy, and I'm just gonna clip the rest of my hair aside. I did chop off like the majority of my hair. But I want to do this chronologically, so I'll wait until we get to that point of the timeline to talk about it. For primer, I already started. I put on the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer because I've been getting a lot of breakouts around here. I know it's mostly stress related, but this helps a ton when I'm having breakouts. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the AOA Studio Luminous Skin Veil BB Cream in the shade L1. I'm actually pretty shocked at how like perfect of a shade match this is for me. Though I will say they're not consistent from like foundation to foundation. Some of them look lighter or darker than others, but this is quite like a perfect match to my neck. It's kind of crazy. So I am going to put this on first with a brush. Especially want to be careful around my eyebrows. And then I'm going to smooth it out with my Beauty Blender dupe from Shop Miss A. This is a super duper light, like, light coverage. Like, you barely get any coverage. It basically smooths out your complexion, but it looks so pretty, and it lasts throughout the full day. The only downside is that it's a little difficult to blend products on top of it. Okay, enough about the makeup. Let's jump into the life update. So the last time I think I updated you guys, I mentioned that we were in the last steps of getting approved for this apartment. And I mentioned being very anxious about it because we ended up touring, I want to say 5 or 6 apartments. And I did film, I was planning to do a whole apartment hunting video for the vlog channel. I think I'm still going to do that, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I have a lot of footage to go back through and edit. We toured a bunch of places, and honestly, the place that we're in, the one that we applied for first, was like our #1 choice. It had everything we were looking for. Perfect location, perfect size. It had all the amenities that we wanted. It was in our price range, and actually the day that we toured, they dropped the price by $100 a month. So I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, this is definitely what we want. The downside is that it was a brand new building, and through no fault of anyone's own, it seems like they were very new at like I don't know, like onboarding, like the application process for people who owned their own businesses. Like for me and my money and taxes and everything, it's very straightforward. I work for one company. I get one tax form. I downloaded that, proof of income, proof of, employment, and basically I was approved and good to go in a day. Alvin, his parents own their own company and he works for their company. So trying to get his proof of employment and proof of not insurance, proof of income, that's what I'm trying to say, was a bit more difficult because we were bouncing back and forth between a few people in the leasing office, and it's like no one really knew what paperwork was needed for him because it was a lot different than your standard W-2. We ended up having to like go back and forth with the leasing office quite a bit after our application was submitted. We ended up having to get like Alvin's family's CPA. We had to get his parents to like write a letter, and it was just a lot of back and forth, and it was making me very anxious because I'll let you know, ultimately we did get the apartment. We are here and it's been wonderful. But between the day we toured, which was the day we applied, and the day we got the lease to sign, it was a month, like a full month. And at that point, I was like freaking out because I was like, what if we don't get this apartment? We're getting close to, you know, our move out time. We want to get the heck out of this smoky apartment. I was just anxious all the time. My stomach was in like knots, and I was just, it was not a great time. I was having like panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and I wanted nothing more than to just know one way or another, are we approved or are we not? Because towards the end of that month, I was like, okay, do we need to apply to another apartment, our number 2 apartment? Because it was like looking like the longer it took, I thought we weren't going to get it. But thankfully, we did get it. We were approved, and they did apologize for the back and forth. But I think it was the first time that like someone had applied to the building with like non-standard income verification. So they worked through it. They were very nice. We ended up getting a great deal on the rent, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit once we get to the move. But right at the tail end of that month, so like right before we got confirmation that we were approved and we had gotten the apartment, it was a Friday. I had a really bad anxiety attack that morning. I felt like trash. I finished working, and then I think we had, like, just to make myself feel better, I started cleaning and rearranging some furniture, because I like to rearrange and I like to clean. It makes me feel more in control, makes me feel better. And I ended up getting a text from a colleague, and this colleague was someone who I've been friends with for a while, but she was one of my colleagues' boss. So to have her text me out of the blue was kind of scary. And she just said, hey, I just need to talk to you. I'm going to give you a call in a little bit. And honestly, my first thought was, oh my God, the colleague that reports to her, I thought like he was laid off because we had a big reorg earlier this year. I lost like one of my good mentors and friends through that reorg. And I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, there's another reorg coming. Someone's getting laid off. So she calls me, and it wasn't a layoff, but our mutual friend, a colleague and friend that I've literally worked with every day since I started, she unexpectedly and suddenly passed away. And it was super out of the blue, and I was so grateful that she had called me to tell me, because they had found out, like, I think her boss sent an email out letting her know that this colleague had passed away. And that boss did not know how many people knew her and how long she worked for the company. And so, like, was surprised that that manager was like, oh my God, we have to, like, let the team know she's a big part of our team. And I gotta say, I'm gonna be very polite here, but that manager, not the one who called me, the one that she reports to, did not handle this well at all, quite frankly. But anyway, back to... And yeah, so, I immediately started crying again, and I feel like I still haven't fully processed, that loss, because I've lost friends and family before. Oh my God, I knew I was gonna cry. But I've lost friends and family before, but I had never lost a friend that I also worked with. Like, it's kind of hard for me to explain, but like for every other time I've gone through something, it's always been like personal. So like when I come to work, I'm able to kind of like compartmentalize that part and say, okay, that's personal, leave it out, and then focus on work. And I thrive with being busy, right? So this was the first time where it's like personal and work they were smushed together. Like one of my best friends at work had passed away, and I had no idea how to process that. And had to just keep working. Like, not only was this someone I worked with every day, our jobs kind of overlapped. So I had to deal with the pain of losing such a good friend. so suddenly. I wasn't able to go to the funeral because, so she passed away like a month and a half before we moved, and at that point we had gotten the apartment, so we knew how much we had to save up for the move. And for me to fly out and attend the funeral and stay for a few days, it would have been over $1,000. And it would not have been fiscally responsible for me to do that. But the good news is that a few colleagues live in the area. They were able to go to her funeral. One of them picked me up the card, or the handout. It was nice enough to save me one. Ooh, I might need a minute. So that was a very rough transition in time for me, that I was grieving the loss of my friend. I also had to like step in and help out her team because I was the closest one to her at work. So there were quite a few things that only she and I knew how to do. So I had to like step in and help fill in that gap. Um, it was rough. I was just exhausted all the time and just grieving and trying to work, and it was so difficult because like I would look at my Teams and I would see the last message I sent her. It was about a stupid ISBN question. And I would see our weekly meeting on the calendar and I couldn't bring myself to remove it. And little things like that. So for that first week, I was a mess. I was like this, working every day. Um and I don't think I haven't really processed it. I just kind of pushed it down and kept going because like it was one thing. It was like one thing, and then another. So whew, definitely something I'm gonna take up with my therapist now that we're in a bit more of a settled place. I will say I've gotten to a point now where I can compartmentalize a little bit better, and I've been able to work without crying, but it was so difficult those first few weeks. And this was like right before we moved. So yeah, that was around the time where I just gave up on social media. I had a few videos pre-recorded and like scheduled to go out. But that was the point where after she passed, and work got even crazier and the move was imminent, I was like, need to step back. So I did. So that's kind of what prompted the actual like hiatus, was that. And then it actually gets worse. um, whew. I used the e.l.f. I don't know what they are. They're liquid thingies, bronzer and contour, and I really like them, and they're a good shade. Ooh. I also love these e.l.f. the liquid blushes. This is like a lilac shade, the camo liquid blush. They're super pretty, and they blend out really nice, so I'm gonna use this as blush. So, work goes on, life goes on. I am just pushing everything down, compartmentalizing, pushing forward. We get the apartment. Yay. We get our move-in date, which is amazing. It was the middle of October. So I am scheduling movers. I got a few quotes. We hired movers for the first time, and I'm so freaking grateful that we did. Um, and I start packing and I start cleaning, and it's about a week before the move, and my husband sends me a text, and it's a picture of a little kitten he found at work. Oh my god, I'm already gonna cry again. Whew. And in the text, he's like, hey, I found this kitten at work. How do you feel about adopting a kitten? And I'm like, hold on a minute. It's literally a week before we move. We have Rex. We've always wanted another animal. We always thought it would be perfect to have us, Rex, and then maybe a cat to kind of round out the family. And so on the one hand, I'm thrilled. I was like, oh my god, we finally got chosen by the cat distribution system. It's perfect. The other hand, I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna get along? Is Rex, how do you introduce a cat or a kitten to a dog? I was like, it was just overloaded. Too much stuff all at once. So I spend the day like researching what to buy for a cat. I've never owned a cat. just thinking and planning and making shopping lists and everything. And we decide that as soon as Alvin gets off work, he's going to pick me up. We're going to take the cat to the vet, get checked out, make sure we're all good. So he picks me up. We drive to not our usual vet because our usual vet was already closed. So we went to another nearby vet. And unfortunately, we think the kitten either got into like some rat poison at the store or was already previously sick, because by the time we got him to the vet, he was not doing good. And they said that there was a very low chance of the kitten surviving, and that they was probably found in the store because he was probably abandoned by his mother. We did everything we could to save the kitten. Oh my god. Whew. Okay, so I have no idea if I'm gonna be posting this or where it's gonna go, but my husband just texted me that he found a stray cat at work today, and it's the most adorable little kitten, and we might be adopting a kitten. I've personally never owned a cat before, so I have no idea what we're gonna be in for. But also, on top of that, we have a corgi, so I have no idea about how to introduce cats to dogs, especially a kitten. And we move in a week and a half. So there's a lot going on. But I work from home, so I'd be able to watch the kitten. So he gets home from work in like half an hour, and we're gonna take it to the vet and then hit the pet store. So, long story short, we got a referral from that vet to a vet that had like a trauma surgery unit. We bundled up the kitten, took him over, did everything we could, but unfortunately, we were told the kitten had a very, very low chance of surviving and that it would just put him through a lot of pain. So after talking to the vet and all the doctors on staff, we realized the best option was to, unfortunately, put little Morgan to sleep. And I know it's silly to get so attached to a kitten you knew only for a day, but oh my god, it was rough. We were there for him until the very end. Oh my god, I didn't think I'd cry this much, but at least for a few hours, that kitten was so loved, it's so taken care of, and we did everything that we could. I have to stop. So we did everything we could for little Morgan, but like the vet told us, you unfortunately can't save them all. And he was loved up until the very end. And we were able to get his little paw impression, and we had him cremated, and he'll always be a part of our family. Whew. So all that happened about a week before our move, and I just like shut down emotionally, quite frankly. It was between losing a good friend, losing Morgan, packing, cleaning, doing everything right before the move. So freaking grateful we hired movers, because I could not have done that. So let's go ahead and skip to move-in day. I'm gonna do like the world's simplest eye makeup look, because it's probably not gonna stay on long anyway. So move-in day, yay! We moved on a Monday, and we ended up getting a really good deal on the rent. So we signed a 2-year lease. So with that 2-year lease, we got 2 months of free rent. So we ended up only having to pay for like the second half of October for rent. We moved in along with our security deposit. We got November, December free rent, which was perfect because our lease at the old place doesn't end until December. So we only had to pay like double rent for like half of a month, which is so much better than we would have anticipated. It was actually a lot better because we had saved up. So our little emergency fund, our savings, more than covered the move. So we ultimately did make the right decision waiting to move when we did. So move-in day comes, and we have a like time that we booked to move in here because we had to rent the elevator or book the elevator. So we have these 3 guys. I will say the company was College Hunks Hauling Junk, and I 100% recommend them. They were the best movers ever. They treated everything perfectly. They were the nicest guys, super polite. They did an amazing job. And it was actually like cheaper than we had budgeted for at the end of the day. So it was just wonderful service all around. And as someone who's in her early 30s, and I've moved more times than I can count, and this is the first time that as an adult I've actually hired movers. I've only, like, even when Alvin and I moved to our first apartment, it was just me, him, and my little brother. We moved everything. So hiring movers was amazing. It was so much better than having to move everything on our own or just having family help out. It was so nice. So definitely never moving without movers again. And they did everything so fast. I think they like packed up and loaded up the old apartment in like an hour, hour and a half, if that, and that included wrapping up all the furniture and everything. And so we had a bit of a break in between, like, when they were done packing up the old place and when we had our scheduled move-in time here at the new place. So we bought them pizza, we bought us all lunch. We hung out for a little bit, had a nice lunch. And then we came over here. Oh man, this eye is looking messy, but I think that's because I cried. Just ignore that. So then we came over here. I've got a couple of videos and pictures I could throw in. The current apartment is beautiful. The only downside so far is that I thought being on the ground floor, we would have access to an outside door without stairs. So we do have to either take the elevator or take stairs to go outside, but it's only half a flight of stairs. So ultimately it's not terrible, but Rex can't do stairs, so we still have to carry him up and down or take the elevator. But other than that, literally everything about this apartment is a million times better than the old place. And I'm so, so freaking grateful every day that, like, I can smell stuff again. Like, the other day I smelled, like, how nice my hair mask was, and I started crying because, like, I hadn't smelled a hair mask or smelled anything good like that in almost a year because of the secondhand smoke from the old apartment. So little things, it's like rediscovering those little pleasures I get to have again, and I'm so freaking grateful. So we moved in middle of October. The movers were excellent. Everything went well. Everything went smoothly. I will say the rest of the move took a lot longer than Alvin and I expected. But I think it's because we're both in our 30s now, and it was just the two of us. So, like, we had bulk furniture we had to throw away at the old apartment. We had to buy new furniture here, put everything together, unpack. So, like, we vastly underestimated how much time and effort the rest of it would take. Because we had a lot of stuff. We had a whole kitchen to unpack. We have all of our clothes. We had all of our sentimental stuff. Just, like, way more stuff came out of that apartment than when we first moved into that apartment. Because we moved into that apartment, like, with just 2 bedrooms worth of stuff. And then we built a life there. And then we had to move everything. So, definitely underestimated how much it would take to unpack and do everything. But I think now, about 2 months later, we're 90% settled. The only thing that we don't have is a couch. We're not going to buy a couch until next year because I have got the Christmas tree up because I desperately needed some festivity after this year. So I went all out with some Christmas decorations. And we finally got our first full-size Christmas tree because at the old apartment, we had no room for a full-size tree no matter where we put it. So I got a 6-foot fake Christmas tree that we're going to keep, and it's so cute and I love it. So once we put that away for the year, we'll buy a couch and a coffee table. And that'll be everything for this new place. And I'm just so grateful. But it's like now that we're here and just about everything is settled and almost everything is put away, it's like I now need to like process the year that I've had from hell. Because I've not processed anything. Like I've just been like, oh shit, that sucks. Push it down, move it along. Oh, that sucks. Push it down, move it along. And then like now it's the end of the year and it's like, oh, this gigantic pile of stuff that I have to deal with, it's now all coming back up. But that's a lot between me and my therapist. So this eye look is terrible. I'm sorry. Like I've been doing some simple neutral eye looks lately and I've been having a lot of fun like rediscovering how great neutral eyeshadows can be. This is not my best work. So I'm just gonna slap some glitter on it and call it a day. A Stila Glitter and Glow. Because glitter covers everything. Alright, let's get some glitter. So now it's December. It's like the middle of December as I'm filming this. We decorated for Christmas. I'm slowly rediscovering my love of cooking because I've noticed that over the last year, like I was barely cooking or eating anything because everything's tasted and smelled like cigarette smoke. So it's been fun getting to like open up my old cookbook, my old recipe books, and like I made split pea soup a few weeks ago and that was delicious. And I just bought my favorite brie and a nice baguette. I had that for breakfast this morning. It's been so nice. And now that it's December, it is both Alvin and mine's birthday. Alvin's birthday, he will be 34, I think. I'm turning 32. So he's 2 years older than me, so I think he's turning 34. Yeah, he should be turning 34. Um, so usually we'll just combine our birthdays and do something cute together. We're thinking of just going out to like a nice restaurant for our birthdays. And then Christmas. We're gonna stay here, keep it very freaking low key. For Christmas, we'll probably do New Year's with his family. And then right after the New Year's, one of his cousins is getting married. So, thankfully it's in state. It's like 2 hours away. So, comment if you've been here since January of 2023 when we had that airport travel disaster of trying to travel to another one of his cousin's weddings. We are not doing that again. Absolutely not. I'll see if I can save this eye look. Oh, that actually helped. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of lower eyeliner. Let's do the lighter color. I think we saved the eye look. Would you look at that? Taking the Tarte Fake Awake eyeliner, which has been my favorite eyeliner this year, to line the lower lash line, get rid of that redness, make us look awake and not crying. Oh my god, I totally like skipped over the election. Like, for those of you that knew me, I'm definitely a Democrat. I am a Puerto Rican woman who lives in a blue state. Um, and the election was devastating, quite frankly. For my own, like, mental health, I had to, like, delete all of the, news apps off of my phone, and I have to go back to only checking the news, like, on my work computer through websites, because that's what I did for the Trump administration previously. So, as someone who still has family in Puerto Rico, who was affected by Hurricane Maria, and who I just hate Donald Trump. I do. And if you are a Trump fan, I would rather you not be subscribed to me. So, you know what? Take it or leave it. Though I will say, like, for my own personal, like, mental health, I'm gonna try to make this channel, like, mostly politics free for the next few years because I just desperately need a happy space after everything that's happened. Whew. So that's what this channel is going to be. I'm going to try and focus just on the makeup and try to be like a nice escape for everyone because I know I need it and I know a lot of people have needed it because throughout these last few months, quite frankly, like the highlights of my day have been just catching up on YouTube and watching YouTube videos and listening to YouTube videos. And I've missed this channel. I've missed being here. I've missed like playing, experimenting, testing makeup, and I've missed getting to communicate with you guys. And like I said, I desperately need a happy, safe space. So this is what this is going to be. All right, before, you know what? I don't even want to put on setting spray because this makeup's probably coming right back off. So let me just put mascara on. So to finish this out on a bit of a lighter note, I did chop all my hair off. I literally was sitting in bed one day a few weeks ago and I looked at Alvin and I said, I feel like doing something drastic. Because I was growing my hair out. My hair was really long. It was like down to like my chest. Because I had in my head this picture of me in college. And my hair in college was like down to my butt. And I loved it. It was so nice. It was really long. It was super pretty. It was fried because I was blow drying and straightening it constantly. But I just loved the long hair. And my goal was like to grow the hair out to be that long again. Oh shit. I just got mascara all over this eye look. And if that is not a perfect representation of this year, then I don't fucking know what is. Woo. Yeah, so anyway, I was planning to grow my hair out to be that long again and to take a cute little side-by-side like photo And then I said, you know, screw that. I've been having a lot of migraines this year. And I think part of it was that I was just constantly putting my hair up. And since my hair was so long, it was heavy. And putting it up in a bun or in a ponytail would just put extra weight on my neck. And it was killing, like, my neck. So I literally went into the bathroom one day and just went, like, snip. And I, like, chopped all my hair off. So it's not, like, the perfect haircut. Let me actually take my bangs down. So I really like how the front came out. The bangs are really cute. I've been cutting my own bangs for like 2 years now. The layering in the back was a bit more difficult to get with the short hair. The layers are a lot easier to cut if you've got longer hair, if you're cutting it yourself. So the layers aren't perfect, but I love the little swooshies I get at the end now, and it's so much lighter, and it feels like super healthy, and I don't have to use as much product. Like I was going through Olaplex and hair oil and everything like water because I had so much hair, and now I use just like a little bit and I'm done because my hair is so short. So I'll probably go back to wanting to grow my hair out next year, but like for now I'm enjoying how lightweight it is and how poofy and cute and how quickly I can wash it and how quickly it dries. So yeah. And I feel like I needed a fresh start after, you know, after everything this year. And this is one of the most stereotypical ways to get a nice fresh start. A nice haircut. So that is the look. No one should follow this as a tutorial because this did not turn out great. I've got mascara all over my eyes. I still have to take a thumbnail picture. I might just take a screenshot from the middle of the video, but hey, here we go. So that is my life update. We're caught up. We're caught up. So I have no idea when this is going to get posted. I'll try to get it up by the end of the year because I still don't know what I'm going to be doing next year for Pan That Palette, if I'm going to be doing a Pan That Palette. So still TBD on that. But if you haven't already, I hope you subscribe. If this is the first video of mine you're watching, wow, way to jump into the deep end. Hi, my name is Monica. Thanks for being here. Hope you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever videos do come out because I no longer have a schedule. And I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. If there's anything I've learned this year is that you are like the #1 person in charge of taking care of yourself. And if you don't do it, odds are no one else is really going to do it. And I've just realized this year how important it is to make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, all the lees that you can. So sending love and good vibes to each and every one of you. I hope you had a much better year than I did. And, you know, here's to looking forward to 2025, a fresh year where shit better get better. Whew, okay. All right. Thank you guys. And I'll see you in the next video whenever that comes out. Bye.